insisted we mention this, and hey, keeping the attorneys happy keeps us on the air. So thanks for tuning in and being part of the Regional Radio family. We're proud to bring local, compelling content to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
From the Heart Media Group newsroom and DeWittDailyNews.com, I'm Ben Hubbard with this expanded morning newscast. Good morning and thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Ben Hubbard. The news is brought to you by Connexus, offering fiber internet in Clinton. Click their icon on DeWittDailyNews.com to find out more, as well as Bomb Chevy Buick in Clinton, your Silverado headquarters. At last week's City Council meeting, Clinton City Administrator Tony Harris announced the Residential Exterior Improvement Program. Harris told the Heart Media Group that the city has budgeted $50,000, enough for 10 grants that can be applied for by homeowners. This grant will cover 75% of the cost, up to $5,000 for landscaping, siding, window repairs, and other similar projects.
We have $50,000 in that grant program this fiscal year. Mm-hmm. And that runs through May, the end of April of next year. So we have 10 homes. There's a cap of $5,000. It's a 75% grant. So the city pays 75%, and the homeowner pays 25% of the grant. If it's an elderly person, we're working on some programs too that might even be able to help that 25. Very early stages of that, sure. But maybe even able to help that in that 25%. We're working on some things there. That kind of goes hand in hand with the mayor's project, the block by block program, mm-hmm. Again to beautify the area. But again, the type of improvements eligible for reimbursement under the program include the window repair or replacement, exterior siding repair or replacement, painting of homes, garages, sheds on the property, repair, addition of porches, steps, ramps, and other similar ADA compliant items, roof or fence repair, replacement, demolition of garage sheds or deteriorated structures, landscaping, planting of trees, dead tree removal, particularly the potential risk of property damage with those trees, sure. Water, sewer line repair, replacement of homes, mm-hmm. Driveway repair, replacement of existing pavement of gravel or dirt lots. So basically anything that is going to improve the look of the home.
Currently, this program is only open to homes in TIF District 4, also known as the Downtown District. Harris says this is only a pilot program for now, and they hope to expand it with the upcoming TIF District 5.
This is part of our current TIF number 4, which is what we call the Downtown TIF. Primarily, the use of the Downtown TIF is as a facade grant to beautify exterior facade grants, like helping the buildings downtown, making those look better, so that's what we've typically done with this TIF 4. But the location of the TIF, it's a smaller TIF, and it's not a real successful TIF, but there's some money in there. So it's a residential program, unlike the business downtown program. It's all part of that same grant, but mm-hmm. It's a small area. It runs down South Center Street from the square South Center to Van Buren, but only on the east side of the road on Center. But it also goes over to Monroe Street, just on one side of the road on Monroe Street, on the west side of the road, again, down to Van Buren. So there's a limited number of homes there. It's a pilot program that we're putting into place here, but we're hoping to expand this residential program with the new TIF 5. And I've talked about that a lot too. That new TIF 5, the boundaries are still in the very early stages, but we believe that that's going to be a pretty significant part of Clinton. And there's going to be lots of residential homes in that. And again, we've targeted some areas that we see blight, and that's what TIF's all about, is to help with the blighted areas. So we've identified some targeted areas of blighted homes that we want to take care of. So that's what the whole program is for.
The city plans to use what they learned from this upcoming year of the program to develop it further in the future, including how much is budgeted for it. Harris emphasizes that the funds do not come from the city's general fund, but rather from the TIF program.
Well, every year we'll start working on the budget January or February for the next fiscal year.
Mhm.
The next fiscal year will start May 1st of 2027,
Mhm.
and we'll at that time when we're looking at the budget, we'll see how successful this fiscal
Sure.
year went, and we'll take a look at it. And again, that's just a minimal area, but what's really gonna what we'll really look at is the new TIF district, the new
Mhm.
TIF 5. If we are successful at getting that in the area by the end of the year, then we'll take a look at that area, and that will definitely have to be more than a $50,000
Right.
budget item. That'll be more because that'll encompass a lot more.
Sure.
But again, this is not coming from this help. This grant is coming from the city of Clinton, but it's not coming from the general budget. It is coming from the TIF program.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
again, I've talked a lot about this. If they want more information on TIF, I'm learning it. I learn something new every single week on TIF. I'd be happy to have a phone conversation or sit down to discuss it. But it's a program where a percentage of the tax is going into a fund, and that's what funds the TIF. Two ways: residential and economic development, businesses, those type of things.
Harris notes that while this program could pair well with the block by block program, its small service area at the moment limits how the two can work together, as block by block can service the entire city. He adds that with the residential exterior improvement program, the homeowners will be expected to hire the contractors.
A little bit of both, Ben. This program I just talked about, it's going to be more the homeowner would hire the contractor. That's what this program is going to be. The
Yeah.
block by block is going to be a lot of volunteer work.
Mhm.
But again, this program, the TIF program, is only in a boundary, not the
Yeah.
entire city of
Yep.
Clinton. The block by block is going to encompass the entire
Right.
city, but again, we're going to concentrate on blocks. So
Yep.
concentrating on blocks, knowing that in this area we have other funding, that's where the volunteer help, this other funding could come in handy, where it could work together.
Mhm.
If it's outside of this boundary of the TIF, then it's totally volunteer, and then we've got some money set aside to help.
Economic development is a major driver of the beautification efforts in Clinton. Harris feels that it's about making a good first impression on visitors, potential residents, and potential manufacturers looking to come to the area.
And you're hearing me always talking about economic development. I'll say it again. I do believe that economic development and beautifying the city go hand in hand. I think that if you've got businesses, factories, things like that, they're going to be driving through the area. They're going to look. Well, what's Clinton all about? Well,
Mhm.
if we've got rundown homes and vacant homes that are ready to fall down, they take a look at those. I know I mentioned it at another time I was here, when I had a business owner tell me, "Hey, Tony, when I bring a client in, I have to be careful what streets I travel down." Well, that's very concerning. So we need to make sure that we're taking care of this. So,
Mhm.
and it's not just the city of Clinton. It's a partnership between the homeowners. So, they have to be willing to do this too. And this is one reason why we are doing this, so we can partnership with the homeowner to get these done. Now, when 75% that I talked about, that's for the primary residence. Now, we're also going to try to help landlords or other properties like rental properties. We're going to help with that too. But again, a $5,000 cap, but that'll be paid at a 50% rate. Again, this is all new. Those numbers could change. The $5,000 residential cap
Mhm.
that could change. If we see it's successful, we want to hear from the public. If they want to see more money put into that, then maybe we could increase that. Or the
Mhm.
$50,000 budget right now, maybe next year we can increase that. So we just need to, with this pilot program, just see how it goes, see who takes advantage of it and what they do, and then we'll grow it from there.
Harris strongly encourages those with questions to reach out to him or other relevant city officials. He adds that social media can often be a source of misinformation. Coming up shortly on this expanded newscast, intense heat of yesterday to be short lived. You're listening to the WHOW Morning Show. Let's take a quick break with a word from our sponsors.
Chevrolet is the heartbeat of America, and now is the time to celebrate our nation's birthday in a new Chevrolet. This is Scott Baum from Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton and Farmer City, inviting you to come see our selection of Chevrolets, like the sporty Chevrolet Trax and the good-looking Trailblazer. We also have a good selection of Chevrolet Equinox and the full-size Traverse. Chevrolet, together let's drive. BaumChevyBuick.com, right from the start.
It's the quiet moments you count on. A call that connects instantly, a show that never buffers, a home that just works. That's the difference with Connexus Fiber Internet. We built a buried fiber network designed for consistency, earning us the title of top-rated fiber internet provider in Illinois. With plans starting as low as $25 a month and 3-year price lock options, it's reliability you can feel without the unpredictability. Because with Connexus, connection means everything. Experience better at Connexus.com. Nothing Connexus like Connexus.
News time is 20 minutes after the top of the hour. You're listening to the WHOW Morning Show. Families in Blue Ridge schools are going to be pleased to hear the Clinton YMCA is bringing its successful after-school program to the district for select dates this upcoming school year. On the WHOW Morning Show Monday, Clinton YMCA Executive Director Rennie Kluver told the Heart Media Group they are going to offer Y-Zone in Blue Ridge schools during a limited number of 1 p.m. early dismissal days during the upcoming school year.
And then we had mentioned that we are doing kind of an early out days over in Farmer City that we're going to be hosting.
Oh, really?
Y-Zone for those. I think they have 6 days on their schedule that they get out at 1:00.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're going to help provide the district some childcare needs there. Been able to really look at the programs that we've got with Melinda Akers that runs our Y-Zone and summer camp here, and then Caitlin Myers that runs our Y-Zone and camp over in Monticello. And those two have done a fabulous job. And I say one of the big indicators of that is returning staff that keep coming back, that want to be a part of it, and the adult staff that we have in those programs, which is huge because it helps the program. When you've got adults that are help running that program and you don't rely on 16, 17, 18-year-old kids, which we've got some great younger staff too, but to be able to rely on some adult staff is such a benefit for those programs because they run smoother. And
for Kluver and the Y, the offering in Farmer City will look very similar to the programs in place in Clinton and Monticello. He hopes to find out if the demand in Farmer City will be significant enough to offer it full-time in the years ahead.
Very, very similar. Monticello is how all of our programming is housed in the old Lincoln School that was over there, which has been great that the school district over there has been so easy to work with and collaborative efforts because they see the value in this program, what it offers their parents in the school district. And so being able to have, we've got that gym for big space, and we got the playground outside, and then they've got the stage, and they've got some classrooms. You go over there and it's really set up nice, which the school district here in Clinton is great for us for Y-Zone, but we also understand that the other sporting events and book fairs and parent-teacher conferences, and all that stuff does affect the space that we can use, and we modify and really make it work, and it's been a great fit for us. So there are differences as far as the like scheduling and working around different school events between Monticello and Clinton. And then Farmer City's going to be, everything will be at their grade school. It'll be just after or when school gets out at 1 till I don't think 5:30 is the cutoff. And it's going to be a nice trial, because if the district sees a need for a regular after school care, then this will be a nice way to gauge that interest and maybe be able to offer before and after school every day over there in the coming year.
According to Kluver, the Farmer City opportunity started with a phone call from Superintendent Ryan Payton, who expressed interest in the Y offering something for the community's families during 1 p.m. dismissals.
The superintendent over there, Mr. Payton, reached out to me, a while back, to talk about the idea of being able to offer some type of childcare for the days that the district was getting ready to vote on to have these early out days for school improvement, things like that. And I gave them really a lot of credit that they were looking at this could be a potential need for parents that, what do I do with my kid at 1 o'clock? I'm usually able to pick them up at 3 o'clock after school or 3:30. And now I got, all their options and the potential issues that could come up with having those days. And so that's kind of how it started. And so I met with them a couple of times over there and said, well, yeah, we can make this work. And working with Melinda, that runs our Y zone here, and like I just talked about, the adult staff that we have, we've got the ability to have an adult staff that can come over there and make sure it's ran smoothly. And now if it develops into more of a regular basis, then we're still looking for staff. We need some high school kids to come in to help with those early out days.
Registration for the 2025-26 school year Y-Zone programs in Clinton, Monticello, and now Blue Ridge is open. Visit clintoncomymca.org for more information, or find the Y on Facebook. A heat wave blasted central Illinois yesterday. However, things should cool off slightly the rest of the week. Ed Shimon with the National Weather Service in Lincoln told the Heart Media Group on the WHOW Morning Show Monday that temperatures will drop into the 80s the remainder of the week as we close out July. He indicates Friday is our next best chance to see some precipitation in Illinois.
Sure. Yeah. Once that cold front moves through roughly this evening, we see the precipitation chances basically fall off to nothing. And then we've got, winds shifting out of the north and becoming pretty gusty tomorrow. On Tuesday, our highs roughly in the 88, 89 degree range, but the dew points are going to be, falling off gradually here. What do we have for, dew points around 71 instead of, today around 80. So that's going to make a big difference in what it feels like. The air temperature is going to be around 85. The heat indices around 88. So much, much less intense heat there. It's kind of typical summertime day. And that's going to be the theme going forward, really. The next day is going to also be, that trend high around 84, and then the dew points falling actually into the mid 60s and staying there. So mid 80s, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, even into Friday, with precipitation chances really staying quite low, if not zero. So it's actually going to be pretty comfortable. Yeah, there we go on Friday, another 81 degree high, lower 80s. Not seeing a lot of precip the rest of the week, which in some cases actually is not a good thing, because we are in a deficit. Oh, there's some rain chances I see showing up on Friday.
Yeah.
So Friday we have more storms coming in.
I was going to say, I thought it looked like Friday.
As we get set to wrap up July, a flash drought is starting to emerge in the area. We'll have more on that with Shimon in the days ahead at the Heart Media Group. USDA rural development funding paves the way for a downstate infrastructure project. The improvement is in Nashville in Washington County, says USDA Rural Development State Director Jesus Ortega.
Through the water and environmental programs, we financed a direct loan for $4.3 million for a sewer lift station replacement. The city's existing lift station dates back to the 1930s. So it's obviously reached its useful life, and the agency funds were able to replace 3 city lift stations at the sewer facility. So we're very glad that we were able to help out with that. So this project will improve capacity greatly. It'll bring the system up to industry standard. It will reduce the city repair costs and allow the sewer system to operate more efficiently. The project will benefit about 1,500 total users, which equates to a population of 3,200 residents in Washington County, Illinois.
To learn about USDA rural development, water, and environmental programs, visit rdusda.gov/IL. Just a few weeks from the State Fair, and State Fair manager Rebecca Clark is promoting some of the attractions.
Well, let me try and break it down by age groups, because I'm a mom with 4 small kids, and I can tell you that in my house, my kids are buzzing about the new dinosaur exhibit that we are going to have in Happy Hollow, right next to the Big Top Circus. It's a free dinosaur exhibit, so you can come and get up close and personal with a pterodactyl, a bronchiosaurus, a T-Rex, absolutely free. And it really complements all of the free programming that we're going to have there in Happy Hollow, with that Big Top Circus having 4 free performances every single day. So that's something that I really encourage the kiddos to check out. Maybe some older kiddos might like to take a look at the carnival. We have some brand new rides coming to the carnival. The X Drive, we just posted a photo on our social media account the other day. That this ride just looks so super cool, and we're really excited to welcome it at the Illinois State Fair. We still have mega passes on.
The State Fair runs August 13th through the 23rd, with Ag Day on Friday, August 14th. Get news anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com.
SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason in Washington. Noisy demonstrations in D.C. ahead of Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu's visit to the White House today. He and President Trump will discuss where things stand with Iran. The president insisting that Tehran is anxious to cut a deal. Mr. Trump also meets today with Ukrainian President Zelensky. Then Mr. Trump will attend the late Senator Lindsey Graham's funeral at Washington National Cathedral. Damage assessment underway after a 7.1 magnitude earthquake rocked Japan's main island of Kyushu. An earlier tsunami advisory lifted. Firefighters kept a vast wildfire in southwest France from advancing overnight. However, another dry heat wave is said to be on the way. On Wall Street, the Dow futures are up 140 points. NASDAQ futures down 217 points. More details, srnnews.com.
Are you carrying more than $10,000 in credit card debt? Do you feel like you're running on a financial treadmill, making payment after payment, month after month, yet never getting ahead? If you're tired of watching your hard-earned money disappear into interest charges, there may be options available to help you take back control of your finances. At Total Financial Freedom, they'll show you what qualified consumers may be able to save through programs designed to help them resolve debt faster than making minimum payments alone. The consultation is free, confidential, and comes with absolutely no obligation. Why spend years, sometimes decades, paying thousands in interest when there may be a better path forward? Total Financial Freedom is a Christian-owned company that has helped thousands of Americans pursue financial freedom for nearly 20 years and is proudly A+ rated and accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Call now and ask how you can receive a complimentary copy of The Debt Dietitian. Stop running in place. Start moving toward financial freedom at 866-744-7344. 866-744-7344.
From the Heart Media Group Sports Desk, IL Sports Wire, and DeWittDailyNews.com, I'm Ben Hubbard with this local sports report. Ali Sanchez hit a 3-run shot for his first career homer, and the New York Yankees beat the Chicago White Sox 9-5 on Monday night in the opener of a 4-game series between playoff contenders.
White Sox dropped the opener to the Yankees 9-5. Score did not necessarily reflect the play on the field Monday night. Nevertheless, the Sox failed to add on after taking a 3-0 lead in the first, while the Yankees did not hesitate to blow it open late when Ali Sanchez connected on his first big league home run.
And there's a swing and a drive out in the deep left, and it is gone. Ali Sanchez with a heartbreaker, a 3-run homer. and it's 9-4 Yankees.
Sox will send Anthony Kay to the mound to oppose Garrett Cole in game number 2 of 4 on Tuesday night. I'm Jeff Meller, and I'll have your pregame coverage starting at 6 p.m. on the ESPN 1000 Hard Rock Casino White Sox Network.
The White Sox and the Yankees are back at it tonight on WHOW. Pregame starts at 6 p.m. Alex Bregman had a homer, 2 doubles, and drove in 2 runs to lead the Chicago Cubs to a 7-3 win over the St. Louis Cardinals on Monday night. Bregman had sat out Sunday's game in Pittsburgh after going hitless in his previous 3 games. Against the Cardinals, he snapped out of an 0-for-12 slump with 4 hits and scored 3 runs in a game that was delayed an hour and 46 minutes at the start due to rain. Nico Horner also had 4 hits, including a 2-run homer in the 9th as the Cubs banged out 14 hits in the win. David Peterson is 6-7 and worked 5 2/3 innings and earned the win. The 30-year-old left-hander, who was acquired on June 25th from the New York Mets, struck out 2 and allowed 2 runs on 3 hits and 2 walks. Matthew Liberatore is 5-8 and was tagged for 3 runs on 8 hits and 2 walks in 3 2/3 innings. Chicago has won 8 of its last 12 games. Since the All-Star break, the Cardinals are 3-8 and slipped to 6-14 in their last 20 games. Bregman, who signed a 5-year, $175 million contract during the offseason, drove in Seiya Suzuki with a first-inning double. The Cardinals added a run in the second on a single by Miguel Amaya. Jose Fairman hit a first-pitch fastball 407 feet into Big Mac land in the left field upper deck in the second inning. The 2-out homer cut Chicago's advantage to 2-1. Bregman led off the third with a first-pitch homer to right field, his 11th of the season. Over the last 11 games, Chicago has hit 12 home runs. The Cubs extended their lead to 5-1 on a 2-run single by Horner in the 5th inning. Mason Wynn and Brian Torres drove in runs for St. Louis in the 6th. Cubs right-hander Colin Rea is 7-7 with a 4.85 ERA and will start the second game in the series. The Cardinals have not yet named a starter. In scores from around the MLB yesterday, the Texas Rangers beat the Seattle Mariners 7-3, while the Pittsburgh Pirates took down the Arizona Diamondbacks 3-2 in 10 innings. The Baltimore Orioles beat the Detroit Tigers 8-5, while the Miami Marlins took down the Philadelphia Phillies 8-7. The Toronto Blue Jays beat the Washington Nationals 3-2, while the New York Mets routed the Atlanta Braves 14-3. The Houston Astros beat the Los Angeles Angels 6-4, while the Boston Red Sox took down the Athletics 4-2. The San Francisco Giants shut out the Milwaukee Brewers 3-0, while the Cleveland Guardians and the Cincinnati Reds planned game was postponed. Get highlights of your local high school program by finding IL SportsWire on your preferred social media platforms, and get local sports anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com.
This is staff meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with your regional radio forecast. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times today, with daytime highs approaching 85. Northerly winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Lows level off around 61. Tonight, mainly clear skies. High temperatures reach up to 83. Tomorrow, bright sunshine expected. Hear weather twice an hour or online anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com. Currently, it's 77 degrees.
Let's check Ag News on the RFD Radio Network. I'm DeLois Yankee. Illinois crops coming right along according to the latest crop progress and condition numbers from Ag Statistics, which showed 86% of the corn crop silking. The 5-year average is 88%. And 30% of the Illinois crop in the dough stage. The 5-year average is 26%. Illinois corn condition at 59% good to excellent.